Guys, today I'm going to bring you the best of both worlds with my friends at Public Rec, where comfort meets style. I was tired of sacrificing my comfort to try to look good, so I went and got some new gear from Public Rec. Now I no longer have to choose. I can seriously wear my Public Rec pants anywhere. They're nice enough to wear out to dinner. I did wear them because they were so versatile while I was playing golf. I even wore them to church on Sunday. In fact, they're comfortable enough. My buddy Justin sleeps in his like pajamas. Public Rec has got all of your occasions covered. With a blend of performance materials, it's got a perfect combination of breathability and stretch while still keeping its form. And Public Rec gets better. You can try an array of products like shorts and hoodies to upgrade your wardrobe. Comfortable enough for the couch, but sharp enough for the city. For a limited time, my listeners can save 20% by using code SONNEN at checkout. I want you to head to publicrec.com today, or just click on the link below. Oh, and when they ask how you found them, tell them Chael sent you. What does Paddy do next, man? This guy was the hottest star coming out of the night. I feel rude about that. I feel like somebody started this expression. I think this is a new expression. It's at least new to me, but it's called give them their flowers. And in MMA, when we use the term, I got this from ESPN, but it's, when somebody does something well and we give them their flowers, we're going to pay it off. We're going to address it. We're going to put them over. We're going to pat them on the head. And as a guy that grew up in this sport, and you need to be patted on the head. If you go out and you do something right and the media ignores it completely, it's like, no, you got to address it in some way. I had a hard time doing that with Volkanovski. It's not a hard time. I saw more problems than I did good. How do you do that? And how does that become fair? When an older guy returns to the throne, how do you do anything but pat him on the back? But in that performance, I had some problems with it. Saw some things that I thought, hey, if he does that again, if other opponents are seeing that, they're going to gain a confidence. And that didn't used to be true. Anything Volk did, you gained fear. That's why nobody ever called him out. Nobody ever called Volk out. All those hammers that he fought, none of them called for it. There's one exception to that if you want to be literal, which is Max. Max was like, give me another shot. But if you watch him now, and the real greats, the real scary ones that come, Ronda Rousey, just for example, the ones that come in and they're dominating. It takes about 5 guys to beat that one person. That 5 guys becomes a team on accident. This guy gets a shot, and this guy gets a shot, and this guy gets a shot, then this athlete. But some trainer sits down, and now they've got footage. Now they got first round against this guy, and third round against this guy, and championship rounds against these 2 guys. And all of a sudden, you start to come up with a game plan based on things that you have seen work before. Okay. But I share that with you that 45-pounders aren't really going to be frightened of what they saw with Volk. You saw a guy that was so much better than the field that you knew on a bad day, if he regresses, if he's sick, if his ankle hurts, the day of a fight, he can still win. He can come down a lot, and he's still better than everyone else. But you saw that gap get eaten away. So I want to make sure that I express how wonderful I do acknowledge that Volkanovski did. Just the reason I'm seeing problems is because I am seeing a massive reduction in the gap that his hard work, DNA coaching helped to build. And when I shift gears and I look at Paddy, I want to give Paddy his flowers for what he did, which is as a non-wrestler. He does not own a wrestling singlet. He's never had a match. I'm not positive he could accurately identify wrestling shoes. He went out and out-wrestled from a takedown in top position. He beat the dog out of an All-American, Michael Chandler. And I'm sitting with Dustin Poirier watching this fight, and Dustin Poirier is not a fan of Michael Chandler. And Dustin says, wow, Paddy the Baddy ground and pounding Michael Chandler. Those are words I never thought I would say. I mean, it was that surprising The top guy in the division who's got to sit around and study these guys, because they could be in his future, looks at it and says, this is a position I never thought I would see. And it wasn't just that Paddy got there. It was how easily Paddy maintained it. It's very hard, guys, to control someone and ground and pound them. And the reason is there's a bluff that has to be bought for it to be able to happen. You cannot hold a guy down and simultaneously pound him. Those hands and arms that you would be using to hold him down have got to be busy with the striking to do the ground and pound. So you now have to convince this guy that even without arms, he can't get up. And he has to believe you. Because if he ever so much as tries, he'll get right up. There's nothing holding him down. It's a bluff. It's an act. And Paddy the Baddy was good enough to pull that bluff on somebody as great as Michael Chandler. It really was an amazing performance. And so when you look at that, no one quite knows where to go out the backside. And that includes Paddy. I mean, if you ask the man himself and he doesn't know what to do, he's just got a broad idea. And Paddy did here. Let me just repeat it for you. Charles, that helmet artem, I had never heard the insult helmets before. It's quite funny. Do you guys know what it means? It's a reference. It's a reference to a male body, but call him a helmet. So not the whole body part, just the tip of it. Call him a helmet. It's really quite funny. Calls out Charles, calls out the helmet. Dustin or Justin made a rhyme out of it. Never called out Ilia Topuria and said later that he forgot that he existed, and didn't call out Islam because he says, no, I'm going through one of these guys to get to Islam. I'm not yet ready for Islam. Well, that is one thing consensusly that we all agree on. If any one of those guys, by the way, Charles, Sarukian, Dustin or Justin, if any one of those guys wants Paddy, all they have to do is pick up their phone and send out the tweet right now accepting the fight. The first one of those four that says yes will have the fight, but I'm going to predict for you, none of them do it. Paddy is still that guy that you take on when you have to take on, right? Like Michael Chandler didn't want to fight Paddy. He got called, and now he's got to take on Paddy. That will change. There was a time when McGregor was this mouthy guy and people didn't really want to get into it with him and avoided him. And now they beg. They're on their hands and knees begging for Conor to choose them. So there will be a swing. I'm just making my predictions for you. First off, those four are not going to respond. None of them. And second, but if I'm wrong, whoever does first will have that fight. If Justin Gaethje wants that fight, it is one tweet guaranteed. Whoever says yes first. But one thing that we all do agree on is that Paddy is one away, only one away, any one away. One is the common denominator. If Paddy the Baddy wins one more fight, he fights for the belt. And that is a remarkably good position. And Paddy the Baddy might not be undefeated, but he's undefeated in the UFC. And they may not have named him in a number one contenders match, but make no mistake, his next match will be his last match. That he's not fighting for a belt, regardless of who's got it. Which by then, Ilia and Islam might have worked things out. Islam might not even be around anymore. Like 155 is very weird right now. There was a train of motion set into effect when Ilia walked away from 45. That's the problem when you have one guy do it. When one guy does it, whatever it is, other guys will look at it and say, I want to do that too. And it's exactly what's happening with Islam. Ilia moved up to Islam's weight, and Islam's saying, hold on, I'm not signing to fight anybody. I want to do the same thing, go up to 170, but let me keep an eye on Lawal and Jack. And I'm just sharing for you, like there's some time at 155. There's not a lot that we know. There's not a lot that we can agree on, but there was one thing for sure. Paddy the Baddy's next fight is a number one contendership fight. And if he wins, he will, without question, fight for the world championship.